Okay, so we are here. I am here. Okay, wow. It's good. I hope you could hear me and see me. Because it's like telling me on this computer that like a lot of things are happening, but it's also giving me the green light. So I'm just assuming it's fine. Yeah, that's kind of really it. I have like no topic, it's just wherever life takes me. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with skin prep, and like you do like your contour, your concealer, and then you do trending right now. So we're gonna try it. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with Glassy Skin Balm. This is from Touch in Sol. Um, it's it's not really a balm texture. I don't know if that's gonna show. What? But it's more like a thick, and it really just kind of melts on the skin, and it's supposed to kind of give you a glow. I've been liking it just to help with moisture. See, I feel like my skin was looking so dry, and then I put that on, and now my skin looks much better. Like it looks alive. And it also leaves it kind of tacky. So you can use this product as a moisturizer. You can use it as a primer. You can use it as a glow enhancer if you want to mix it with a foundation. I've used it to like create a blush. Touch in Sol, there are no pore bloom primer. I'm just going to squeeze that on my finger. And I am just going to apply this to kind of smooth out my skin. Go back and touch them up, but I like to do them before applying any kind of base. Hopefully everyone's weekend is good. Mine has, I don't know, I feel like this weekend at least. I'm using the Kosas Brow Pop in the shade Brown Black. Okay, some of the music, okay, so I'm playing like a playlist. Go to the next song and it'll be so quiet. Like the Aaliyah song, just for quiet for whatever reason. I'm gonna try to turn up. And like, it doesn't know where it wants to be. Like, does it want to be loud? Does it want to be quiet? We don't know. As far as the shape of my brows or like what I'm going for here, I'm just naturally, or I'm filling them in naturally where, and then I'm just brushing it up to make sure that product gets dispersed evenly. And then I'm just gonna roll it up and do it on the other side. How long does it take you guys to do your makeup? I can always, well, it depends. Depends on the look, of course, but for the most part, I would say my average, like doing my makeup the way I like to do it, I would say it takes me about an hour. I really don't have the patience, energy. It's not that I don't have the time, because I can make the time, but I just don't have the energy, I guess, like motivation to do it for longer. Unless it's like a really intense. I'm back. I'm like over here trying to roll it down, but it won't roll down and it won't roll up. So that must mean I'm at the end of this, which is kind of good because I've had this for a while, which is surprising because brow products typically never last me that long. Okay, brows are done. So now we can kind of go in and do the underpaint. So we're gonna start off product. Well, kind of. This is the Huda Beauty Tantour. It's one of my favorite cream bronzer contour products. It's dark enough that it can contour, but it's warm enough that it can be a bronzer. So I'm gonna just use this. I do have the Patrick Ta contour cream, but I've just really, really have been loving this product. Like this has, I don't know, like I put it down for a while, I guess to kind of concentrate on the Patrick Ta contour. But I picked this back up and I was like, why did I ever leave you? So I'm just using this like angled, this triangle brush from Complex Culture. And this is what I'm going to use to apply my contour on my bare skin, which maybe on my bare skin, this might be just a little too warm compared to like an actual contour. But the reason why I like this triangle brush for this is because it gets right into those crevices, like my cheekbone. Well, I don't have cheekbones. I have cheekbones, but I don't have like Bella Hadid moment. I just have fat cheeks. But that the triangle brush just kind of naturally follows where my cheekbone is, so it gives me like perfect area where I'm putting that contour. Okay, I might actually, because it is a little too, I'm gonna get some of that cream. Okay. What if I discover like a new way to do it? Like, what if you do like a warm contour underneath? Okay, that's fine. I'm still sticking with my Huda. I don't know. I just feel like she's better. She's creamier when I'm comparing the two. The Huda Beauty is so much creamier. It's wash day, so I am not going to take my bonnet off because I did not wash my hair, twist it, and then curl it for nothing. Okay, it's drying right now, so the bonnet will stay. Okay, and then she does like contour on her nose. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not against it. I just don't ever really reach to do this. And I'm actually going to take a little bit up. I like when I do nose like contouring, I like to take it up to the thing. And then I'm just going to take this and start blending this out. And with my contour, I like to blend contour and bronzer. I like to blend upwards versus downwards. And when it's my forehead, I like to do little small circular motions, but like more towards the edges of my hair. Sometimes I think my placement on my forehead is a little odd. Like actually kind of makes my forehead a little wider than it needs to be. But yeah, blending it up. Oh, I didn't even blend out my nose contour. Okay, we're good. That looks pretty good. I just look like I have a very red nose. Okay, next concealer, which I have the Huda Beauty. This is the faux filter. This is in the shade Salted Caramel. And we're just going to take this, and I believe she applies it underneath her eyes. So I'm going to put some here. I'm going to put a little bit in between my nose, chin, mustache area. I'm going to just go a little over here to highlight. Try and think if there's any more. I might put a little bit right here underneath where I added that contour to kind of highlight it. Ooh, what brush should I use to blend it out? We'll use this brush. This is from Spectrum. This is the Sculpt number 6 brush. I'm going to go ahead and start blending that out. That way I like kind of, it does create a little bit more of a line, but it makes that way more noticeable. Makes it clean. But because we're underpainting, it's all gonna come together at the end. Oh man, maybe I should do this part with my beauty blender or my sponge. But sometimes I like brushes because they're just quick. You just get in there and blend it out. But that's already looking so good. And this is even before we even put any foundation on. Sometimes I just do it like this. Sometimes I just wear it on bare skin. They're so soft. Every time I use it, I'm like, why is this brush like so freaking soft? Okay, for this section, I am going to use my sponge because I just need to get a little bit more detailed. I don't want that going all over the place. Literally changing my nose shape. And I'm just going to go with my sponge, blend it all out so that everything looks good. Double checking nothing is like creasing anywhere. Everything looks well blended. If it doesn't, I'm going back in and then going to blend it out like that. But so far, so good. Okay, so I think the hugest part of this is like applying the foundation. And how do you apply the foundation? So because you're doing underpainting, you kind of want to make sure that The foundation is a little bit more on the sheer coverage. Not saying that you need like light, like skin tint. I personally prefer like a skin tint when I'm doing underpainting. About the method that you apply it. So this is, I would say, like medium coverage foundation. This is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation. It's actually one of my faves. I just don't use it a lot. Also, I don't know if this is even my shade, but we're going to hope it is. Again, I'm going to probably get more fuller medium coverage, but I'm going to actually apply it with a powder brush, and I'm going to get more of an airbrush kind of finish, more there's coverage there, but it's a lot lighter, it's a lot more dispersed than if I was to use a sponge or a foundation brush. So I'm just gonna put it on the back of my hand. This formula is very runny, as you can see. So I'm just going to, not sponge, into this brush very well. And then I'm gonna take it, now that it's like worked in, I'm going to then start applying this over my face. Also, a big brush like this, you're going to get coverage quicker, which is always nice. But do you see that? Do you see how it like is even, but it's like not too much? It's like you have the coverage there, and I can scoot up. You like have the coverage, but you don't have like, it's not cakey, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like doesn't look cakey. It still looks skin-like. Still looks like maybe I stepped out without any foundation or anything on. I'm just gonna take that last little bit and really focus it on my nose. All right, and that is it. That is how you get that like natural looking skin with a little bit of bronzing, a little bit of contour. I have a hair on my nose. Of course I do. Okay, so then is the one. I do think I need to get the shade medium deep because I think that would work out better for me. But we're just gonna put this right underneath my eye just to offer some little bit of. This is better applied with your finger, but I'm gonna go ahead and just use a sponge for time's sake. But it's definitely better to use it with a finger. I did also hear that like a bright or a dry sponge is also really good for this. And I just like, I don't know what the magic is, but it just like makes my eyes look more awake. Like I got like sleep. I don't know. It's a really good product. Okay, so while I let all that, I'm going to set this whole base. I like to set my liquids and my creams before I apply powders with a setting spray. So I'm going to use the Urban Decay All Nighter. Okay, that spray is a little off. Awful. And then for today's eye look, we're going to be stepping back into the Nomad Whistler palette, which looks like this. Let's see. I don't know. I just felt like this palette was calling my name today, and so this is the palette we're going to use. We're going to use the ABH eye primer. And I'm going to take my sponge, and I'm actually going to mix those together so that it is lighter, but it's not like white. There we go. And that is like a set. I'm also going to just quickly set this primer in place with the Flower Beauty or Beauty Bakery flour powder in yellow. I'm just gonna knock off a little bit and then just apply directly to my eye just to set that so it's nice and buttery and smooth. like so. All right, let's get into the eyes. We are going to do, I don't know, but these are the Spectrum Ash K Home sculpt brushes that I'm going to be using for my eyes. I'm just trying to think of the look. It's like, do I want to go with green? I kind of do. Okay, so this does have a brown in it, but it's a little bit cooler toned. It's not what I'm wanting right now. It's like my transition base shade. So I'm actually pulling out the ColourPop. As you can tell, this is well used. Wild Child palette. And I'm just going to dip into probably Ground Crew, I'm thinking. This shade right here. Taking the number 16 brush, which is like a flat brush, but it's like big. And I'm taking that and I'm gonna put that to basically help that primer blend into my brows. So it's just not like a stark difference in my skin tone. Like it should make sense. Okay, this was not the song I thought was going to come on. Hold up. Hold on. Okay. I was like, oh my gosh. It's like I know I selected not meant for kids, but my goodness. And there we go. All right, and then I'm going with this brown, pick up a little bit of that first, and start kind of working that in the outer V area. Following my crease like that. My camera does, I mean, it's great at focusing. Shout out to you, Lens, but my goodness, sometimes like I could just put this right here and it will focus on this versus focusing on me. Oh my god. Okay, that's so far so good. I'm gonna now go into that green shade. I'm just gonna use the same brush. I have a towel here and I'm just gonna swipe off some of that extra powder from the previous eyeshadow. And now I'm gonna kind of go into this dark green here. This is the shade called Bucking Great. It's cute names. I'm really excited to see what their new palette will be for winter because they release basically a palette every season. So the winter one is coming, and I don't know. I'm thinking it's giving Greek. It's giving Greece for sure. If you don't know about Nomad, Nomad Cosmetics is a makeup company that bases their palettes and their products off of areas that places they've gone to and visited. And so this one is Whistler, which is located in Canada. Their fall one was like Hudson Valley, which is located in Massachusetts. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's right. Like it's like between like Massachusetts and like New York, I believe. They have ones like Tokyo. I have another one like Berlin. What's the other one? Paradise Islands, which I think I can't remember. Is it the Fiji Islands or it might have been something else actually? But it's really cool because they just like base it off of like where they've gone. There's so many places that are just so colorful and like aesthetics. But what am I looking for? Like, just different color palettes, I guess, to their culture. A lot of blues. You have this like what looks like white, but it's not. It's like a iridescent like a shifty multichrome, but it's like pink. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, that's way too close. It's like a pink. Let's see if I can swatch it right here. See, yeah, it's like a pink, which is like crazy because it looks white. Oh, we're so out of focus. It's not even funny. Okay, let me see if I add something like a pink, and then we have like these green that kind of represent the pines that you often find, which I think is just so cool. Okay. It's like, I don't even know what brush to use. Okay, now I'm going to go in, I don't know how to say this, a pre-ski, like this like blue-green. I'm just going to start applying that. Because when I like to apply shimmers, I like to also have a matte underneath them. Just some shimmers that tend to be a little, what's the word? Like, I don't know what the word is. Hi. Is it super laggy? Oh no, hold on. Okay, let me see if I can fix that. Thanks for letting me know. Hold on, let me see. Settings. Can I change the settings while... Let's see if that helps. Or using it faster. Encoding. Go to video. Oh, it's gonna do that no matter what. Okay. Okay, super laggy. Give me 1 second. That sucks. All right. Okay, I'll be back. I'm gonna try to figure out why it's laggy.